Do we have cows now?
Daisies blooming, sundress swaying in the breeze. I can't stop staring. You've put a spell on me, and I hope
Morning, chick chicks.
that you never decide to set me free.
All the kittens in here.
The way you're moving, it's got me moving my own feet. The greatest feeling that I could ever dare to dream is you forever moving next to me. Let's not waste time or take this slow. We've got miles behind us, but miles to go. So let's just break this down to the simplest truth. You and I as one will always be better than two. The leaves ain't waiting, their colors changing like the times. And I'm taking, darling, would you be mine? And I hope you know I will love you for the rest of my life. Let's not waste time or take this slow. We've got miles behind us, but miles to go. So let's just break this down to the simplest truth. You and I as one will always be better than two. Take this slow, we've got miles behind us, but miles to go. So let's just break this down to the simplest truth. You and I as one will always be better than two. Yeah, you and I as one will always be better than.
Almost a litre. Oh, I'm going to give you a little brush. Okay. You've got quite a lot of stuff on you. Oh, well done. Good girl. You've got the gate open. All right. Better go and filter the milk.
How you doing, folks? Welcome back to Tapping Off Farm. It's been an absolute age since we made a dedicated farm vlog for you. When was it, Rosa?
I think last September.
September, oh my god.
Plums.
How tardy of us. Plums, yes. Just so English. Plums. No, we were picking plums. That's what we were doing.
Yep.
You had Lily on your back. It's taken us a while to get used to making a vlog again. If you are a Patreon, you'll have been following all of our latest going on. You'll know about all our news that we've got to tell you in this vlog. So thank you for your support over at Patreon. It really does mean a lot. And if you want to go and check out the videos, we'd love it if you want to support us over there. I've been out by myself a lot.
And me and Lily have been enjoying doing many different things around the farm, but really staying on one job, which is kind of necessary if we want to do a job all together, isn't so possible yet.
We have been making videos focusing on the establishment of one of our new enterprises on the farm, which is the berry fields.
Yeah.
This micro berry farm using food forestry as our guiding design principle.
You've been working really hard on that and done the whole thing by yourself, basically.
Wow.
So me and Lily have helped a little bit. Moving flags.
Yeah, Lily has loved all the orange flags.
Maybe dug like 2 holes, but
you've come
and like emotional support.
Oh, totally, 100% emotional support. And you've come out and you've blessed.
Oh, bless
the
many a
plots,
plant.
but
And we've counted worms a lot.
Yeah, a lot of worm
There are
counting.
lots of worms.
Over the last 7 years, we've been selling vegetables via CSA Veg Box scheme. We closed that down pretty much a couple of years ago when Lily was born.
Yeah. We miss being producers, though.
Oh, we totally do. That's one of the big reasons why we've set up the market garden as a small berry farm.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of years before the berries really start coming into their own, so we've got a couple of years to really think about how we're going to work with them.
We've definitely got some ideas, and I think running them past our local community and friends and family, we've had really good response to them. So
definitely,
it'll just be implementing it the next bit, really.
Yeah, but we're really excited to be working with a perennial crop. Again, if you've been watching the vlogs over the last couple of years, you'll know that we've been putting a lot more focus into agroforestry systems here on the farm. To us, it's really a regenerative approach to agriculture, working with tree-based systems. Of course, we're still growing vegetables for ourselves, and we will always have a little bit to sell to the customer base that we've built up over the last 7 years. But now we're definitely still growing veg. We're going to be trying to get on with that today.
Yeah.
Because we're a little bit late in putting things out.
Yeah. Blame Lily.
Blame Lily. No, I mean, it partly is Lily, because as you said at the beginning, when we are out with Lily, we get like an hour maybe to really focus on something, which is pretty good actually. And a lot of it is play worked into that. Yeah. But we've been a little bit late in getting out our vegetables. It's the weather too. We've had horrendous weather here in the UK.
Like we always say that in spring. We're like,
I know,
it's
we always
really
blame
bad
the weather.
this spring,
but this year
it has been especially bad.
It's been very wet and very cold. We know a lot of farmers around our area who have been really struggling to get out into the fields to use their machinery because the fields are too wet, or to get their animals out. But talking of livestock, we've got cows now. If you've been following our Patreon, am I plugging that too much? Nah. You'll be aware that we have been transitioning away from goats to cows. Big step, Rosa, goat girl.
Big step, yeah. I am slightly known as a goat girl to many people, and I still am in many respects inside. I love goats. The thing is, I love all animals, really, all livestock, and the goats. The relationship really came from 2 main things, which was loving dairy and being able to hand milk them and work with them in that way, and also just loving their kind of dietary character.
If you're a feeder, you love
feeder.
feeding people and animals.
Yeah.
And I think you get a massive buzz from being able to feed our livestock food from our farm, which is our main goal.
So I think that's where the kind of main passion came from, aside from just loving their character. But loving having the cows as well.
Yeah. So we got cows. I mean, I don't know how we can really sum it all up in this, and maybe we shouldn't for now, but just accept it. We've moved on from goats to cows. We didn't just get rid of them. We didn't eat them or sell them or anything like that. We've moved them on to some friends about an hour away. They really are interested in getting into goat dairy. The goats kidded back in March. So Heather, one of our main milkers, gave us 3 males. Come on, Mama, push girl. Yes, well done. So we raised them up for a few months here on the farm before we then moved on, the mums and the kids, to our friend's place. And they're there now, having a great time, going for walks in the woods.
Living their best life.
Living their best life with a family, learning how to milk from them. So the goats went, and we had a break of about 10 days before our first cow arrived, our Jersey cow, Hazel. She's beautiful, isn't she?
She's so lovely.
She's gorgeous.
So gentle. I had to get used to her size a little bit, just because I'm just not used to that. You had cows when I first moved.
Yeah, we had Shetland cows
Yeah.
When we first met.
Yeah, I loved them, but I didn't feel like I could just nuzzle in or anything. But I'm already there with Hazel.
The nuzzling in is, for Rosa, is like the most important part of all of this.
It's part of the bonding, you know?
Yeah.
Especially with a dairy animal.
Yeah.
It's a whole different
definitely.
thing.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
dairy
important.
animal is like a pet, really, when we see them every
Family
day.
member.
And this is, of course, the main reason that we have our cows is to get dairy, if that wasn't obvious.
Yeah.
So we went for a Jersey because, as a lot of you know, it's a really recognised, fantastic milk breed. We found Hazel at an organic commercial dairy about an hour away, Forest Farm.
She's going to calve in start of July,
Yeah.
right at the start of July. And so she was just dried off just before we got her from the dairy. So dried off, so she has a break for a couple of months basically until she calves.
Yeah.
It was a bit disappointing
Yeah, it
when we
meant we
realised
couldn't get any
yeah.
milk straight away, but it gave us a chance to get used to having a cow again.
Yeah.
Although it was just a chance of 2 days, because then we got Damson, our Dexter. We were very lucky to find Damson, again about an hour away, on a lovely small holding. The family there have been raising Dexters for beef, doing lovely beef boxes.
We tried the beef.
Yeah, oh
It
my
was really
gosh,
good.
it was lovely.
Yeah.
Damson was a show cow. I think she won lots of awards at the local farmers' shows in the summer. So she was very used to being handled, wearing a halter.
Yeah.
So this was a big positive, and she had been hand milked, so that was a big bonus. So we were very lucky to find a Dexter. Mostly Dexters these days are raised for beef, but they were known as a dual purpose breed, a very ancient breed of cow, originating from Ireland, very hardy, can be out in all weathers, and as you might have noticed, she's tiny.
Yeah.
I think the smallest breed of cow in the UK. And this was important to us, like Rosa was just saying. She wasn't used to cows. Oh, here's the wee one. That's all right. All right, here's the wee one. Come back from my mum's, who lives next door. You been at Nana's?
Yeah.
So Lily goes and spends some time with my mum, who lives next door, while we're doing the morning milking, because we haven't really figured out the routine as such, and it's maybe a bit crazy to have her there while we get our heads around everything.
Yeah, I think, I'm really appreciating your help with getting Damson onto the stanchion, because we're still learning that, aren't we?
Yeah, we need some advice on how to put a halter on still. We can't get it right every day.
Yeah.
We put it on a bit
working
different.
in the sense it's working.
Yeah.
We're getting her from A to B. And it's only on for that 3-meter journey, so I don't think it matters so much. We're training her to be milked. She's not been milked other than just after birth for colostrum.
Yeah, she's not had a daily dairy cow's routine.
No, exactly.
So we're having to teach her that.
In an ideal world, I guess we would have got to know her a bit and got her settled in and friends with us before we had to then have the pressure of milking her, because it was like the first day we got her, we actually had to try and get her to trust us enough to go on the stanchion, to go in a head gate.
Yeah.
So that was quite difficult. And you were pulling her by the collar. We didn't have a halter then.
No.
And,
the halters really helped.
Yeah, it's really helped, because you kind of, you did realise that she is quite strong when she doesn't want to be somewhere.
She's small but mighty. Does have the tendency to kick as well, so at times we've had to restrain her leg to be able to make that possible for us to get the milk.
To be honest though, that was the first day, and actually whilst we are still restraining her leg, she's not actually kicked, which is amazing.
No,
so
she's
I think
getting better.
Yeah, I think she's kind of getting to know us and the situation.
Definitely.
Which is so positive and so much faster than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I feel so privileged to be milking a Dexter.
Yeah, there's not many people, I don't think, actively
in the
milking
UK.
Dexters in the UK. So really great having both the Jersey and the Dexter side by side as a comparison. We're going to get litres and litres and litres of milk from the Jersey.
Yeah, butter. which is amazing.
Butter and cream, this is all the kind of stuff that we have been wanting to make for ourselves for such a long time and haven't been able to with the goats. I'm sure a lot of you out there are asking right now, why did we get rid of the goats when they are dairy goats?
Yeah.
Well, that's it really. Butter and cream, not impossible from goats, but just hard to try and achieve with the small amount of goats that we've always kept.
We're just really excited now that we can actually bring you guys along on this journey, because we're already feeling like we're learning so much having these two dairy breeds side by side, and we're actually milking Damson before we are even milking Hazel.
Yeah, that was unexpected.
Yeah, so we're actually getting kind of edged in slowly because we're just getting small amounts of milk. So it's actually quite a good. We're going to be learning a lot, and we're going to pass on as much of what we're learning.
Lauren. With Hazel the Jersey calving in July, we'll probably end up drying off Damson the Dexter, making way for what we imagine is going to be a large volume of milk, gallons and gallons of milk. So amazing that we've managed to achieve this in quite a small time frame. It's been about a year really in our minds that we've been thinking about this transition to cow dairy, and we finally made it happen. We've changed the buyer. What was the goat shed? We've changed that over to focusing on the cows. We made a huge amount of edits to the goat shed, making it into a cow shed. We've built a really beautiful stanchion, which will give you a proper tour around all of those systems. Oren's escaping from Lily. Oren's going to be 4 this year.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of you might remember him from previous vlogs when we got him as a puppy. Next job, we're going to have to go and get these vegetables planted out, because like I said, we're a little bit behind on that. So we're going to do that now?
Yeah. Okay, so we've got like 60-ish peas. Not many. Why don't we just do like portion of broad beans, portion of peas, like in one bed, chunks. So this is all our veg that we still have to plant out. James actually already planted a bed of garlic and a bed of onions, but everything else still has to be planted. So we've got our brassicas, cauliflower, cabbage. Yeah, these are cauliflowers. We've got cabbages, broccoli, kind of sprouting broccoli, kale, chard peas, and broad beans. This is us trying to really narrow down what we're growing. So these are all our outdoor crops. The polytunnel is very much kind of tomatoes and peppers and things like that we're going to probably be harvesting through the warmer months. And most of these, aside from the broad beans, are really to be harvested towards the end of the season. And to be stored for winter. We've also got our potatoes sitting inside, so we've got carrots. Them, and there's carrots to sow, and a few more onions left over from the sets that we bought. So we're just trying to work out, basically, because we've got smaller amounts. We used to do like a whole bed or a few beds of each crop, but now we're doing a bit more sliced into bits in our beds. So I think we're probably going to do about 1/3 of a bed of broad beans and 1/3 of a bed of peas, and 1/3 of a bed of the leftover onions. And then I reckon we're going to have a few full beds of cabbages and collies, mixed varieties. Trying what's it called again? I always say Romesco, but Romanesco cauliflower. Well done, Lily. So I think we're going to get one bed prepped and do the most kind of pressing veg planting today, which will be the bed of broad beans, onions and peas.
So the beds that we need to use for planting out the broad beans, the peas and a little bit of onions are already prepped. They've been covered with a tarp for the last 6 months. Just pulled that off, broad forked, raked, and that was it really. No other prep is needed. We've got a couple beds already planted up. We've got garlic and a bed of onions, a full bed of onions. We've just got some onion sets left over, so we might as well put them in. The garlic were planted at the end of last year and the onions were planted in March, which is typically when we plant onions, but like we said, we're a little bit behind on our game at the moment, but I think everything will catch up. This area here is where we're growing our vegetables this year. This is what we call plot 1, and back in the day when we were running this as our veg box business, this was a whole plot of 20 beds. 75 centimetre wide by 15 metre long. But now we've taken 10 beds out of that vegetable rotation and we've planted them up to currants as part of our small berry farm. What we're left with is around 10 beds for vegetable production for the house. Over the years we have really come to know how much space we need to grow the amount of food that we want as a family. We're really tightening it up these days, really only focusing on growing stuff that we eat and that we enjoy growing. Some of the basic staples: onions, potatoes, garlic, carrots, cabbage, kale, and then a small amount of things like broccoli and chard and peas, broad beans, things like that. Over the next few days we should hopefully get all of those baby vegetables that Rosa was showing you planted out. And today we're going to start with the peas. So we're all going to head over to where we've got some brash from cutting down some trees to make pea sticks. Because we're no longer growing whole bed or 2 or 3 beds of peas, we are just growing what's going to be probably about a 5 meter row. We don't need to bother making any sort of large trellis or support like we used to. So something like pea sticks, the spray from a birch tree for example, is perfect at sticking in the ground and supporting the pea as it climbs up. Alright, so that's us picked some nice pea sticks from a pile of birch brash in one of the forest gardens, and we've planted a nice row of sticks for our peas to climb up. That's about 5 meters in this 15 meter bed, so we've got 3 different crops going into this bed. 5 meters of peas, then we're going to have 5 meters of onions, and then we're going to have 5 meters of broad beans, and we're going to use some of these thicker sticks that we used for the pea sticks to be supports for the broad beans. So that's all good. We're going to get the peas planted out.
This is for the pigeons, isn't it, Lily? Pigeons.
Is it for the pigeons?
Huh?
Or is it just Rosa wanting to...
Glitz it up.
Exactly, Rosa just wanting to glitz up the garden. Right folks, we've managed to get our peas, our podding peas, a couple of rows of onions, and 5 meters worth of broad beans, plus a couple of broad beans in with the onions. All put in. Rosa's just sticking in some windmills, some finishing flair. We got these windmills for Lily's 2nd birthday, which was just about 10 days ago. And yeah, might work, might keep the birds away. It's the pigeons that we've really got to worry about. They love broad beans and they love peas. So yeah, got that done. Lily was a fantastic help. And she also brought a bit of chaos to it all, especially when I was putting the little onion sets in. I think we're going to have a lot of rogue onions popping up around the garden. Anyway, it's nice to have these in. We've got the brassicas and some chard to do next, but that's not going to happen today. We'll leave that for another day. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed today's vlog. But until next time,
Bye.
we'll see you soon. See ya.
Bye.